Kata Ibushi versus Zack Sabre Jr. live next week on the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, the only podcast that is always an instant classic and that doesn't actually have Zack Sabre or Kata Ibushi. So don't get like excited that we got him. We don't got him. But you should tune in next week anyway. But right now, we're going to talk about NXT for 9-7 of the 16s. So we start off with TM61 versus Daivari and Tony Nese. Daivari versus Daivari and Tani Nese. Sorry, I almost pronounced the names wrong. Really good to see, obviously, Daivari and Nese in NXT after the Cruiserweight Classic. I definitely like seeing them in tag team action. I think I actually thought that they worked really well together as a team. I would definitely like to see them in the future in NXT if they are actually signed by WWE. I'm not sure, again, who is actually signed from the Cruiserweight Classic. But Shane Thorne did a crazy suicide dive that was so good. He actually almost went over everybody and just missed. I was like, bro, you need to calm that down just a little bit. You actually want to hit them. You don't want to jump over them. That defeats the purpose. But like I said, I would love to see Daivari and Tony Nese in a tag team, possibly to help build up NXT's tag team division. That's kind of a little bit weak right now. That would be definitely a cool thing to see. TM61 did win, which kind of felt weird. I feel like they've been losing the past couple of weeks for whatever reason, even though they're being pushed. And they're obviously a fan favorite. It just feels like they haven't been winning as much as they should be. But they did get the win this week. Any thoughts on the match?
I definitely, I enjoyed the match. I thought that Daivari and Tony Nese was a weird tag team. When they came out, it was just weird. I don't know what it was about it. There was just something like, there was no like, they've talked about friendships and, through the commentary and stuff like that. But there's like, from what I know, there's no like friendship. They're not even from the same country. So, that, to me, it just didn't make any sense. But as far as like, seeing them on NXT, I was excited because I like seeing the Cruiserweight Classic guys on NXT because at least kind of shows you that some of those guys who got eliminated in the first round, they still are getting a chance in WWE, a second chance and stuff like that, which is kind of a good thing. I love Tony Nese's kicks. I was like, my goodness. He was hitting kicks from practically like everywhere, and they're really stiff. I was really liking his kicks. I felt like Daivari just felt like he was like a different breed compared to Tony Nese. Like Daivari came out, because like the Cruiserweight Classic guys, like there's really no heels to a certain degree. Just because they just go out there and put on good matches and there's no real faces or heels or anything. But obviously Daivari was kind of booked as a heel a little bit in the Cruiserweight Classic. And Daivari came out initially and he was like, yeah, I want the fans to like me, and then after a while he was just like, nope, nah, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to be Daivari, the Daivari that we know him to be. And I really liked that he slapped the TM61. I think I just thought it gave him something different compared to Tony Nese a little bit. But I felt like everybody was flying around in this match. Everybody. I was like, my goodness, everybody can fly. I didn't think TM61 could fly, and they can fly as well. And I'm like, okay, all right then. But I thought this match was a really good match for the tag team division. I'm not sure what they're going to do with Tony Nese and Daivari. I obviously feel like they should keep some of those CWC guys down there to kind of help with the tag team division. It wouldn't hurt. So at least you get kind of some tag team depth. And then, with the Cruiserweight division, going forward, they can eventually break them off and still have some good Cruiserweight matches as well when they get to the main roster. But I just enjoyed this match. I thought it was good. It was nice to see TM61 win. I think that was nice. I think it's just kind of confusing with like what they're doing with TM61. Just because like like you said, they were losing, they were keeping them strong, but they were still losing. So it's kind of a like in a NXT world where it's like everybody gets pushed really quickly. It feels like now they're kind of lost. It seems like. So I was kind of wondering about that.
Um, yeah. So Tom Phillips interviews Asuka, a pre-recorded interview thing. Asuka says that she respects Bayley and Bayley fought hard in Brooklyn, but Asuka fought harder. She says the women who were drafted are lucky because they don't have to deal with her anymore. And then she started speaking in Japanese, and I don't speak Japanese, so I was like, yeah, yeah, what you said, yeah. Um, but he kind of talks about how obviously Asuka is the NXT Women's Champion, and Shinsuke Nakamura is NXT Champion, and how Japan is taking over, and yeah, yeah. Any thoughts on the interview?
I definitely liked it. I think to a certain degree, I feel like Asuka just needs to work on being like kind of like I know like there's a language barrier, but I would like for her to be more fluid. Just with because like I think when Japanese wrestlers speak, especially in English, there's kind of like just jabs being thrown. It's not necessarily like full length like ridiculous paragraphs or anything. It's just like jabs here and there to for emphasis. So I just want those to be a little bit smoother because at times it looked like she didn't even know what she was gonna say for a little bit. But I do still love Asuka. I enjoyed the interview. I like interviews.
So what you're
With
saying
my boy
is
Tom.
not the best in the world.
I'm saying she's the best in the world, but not necessarily at the talking game. But to a certain degree, is she supposed to be?
Not
Like,
best in the world.
um, I mean, anyway, I don't know. I just enjoyed the segment though. I did. I enjoyed it. It kind of begs the question: who's gonna challenge her next, and can they beat her?
It's gonna be Ember Moon. Let's be honest. It's gonna be Ember Moon. It
No,
feels
it's gonna be Leah. It's gonna be Leah.
like yeah. You know what? I saw her tonight, and I was like, yep, that's our next NXT Women's Champion. Yeah. So we get a Steve Cutler interview. I, I liked it. I like that it felt like they were starting to give him a push. Later on in the night, we find out that that isn't necessarily true. But yeah, no, he had a good run. He had a good run. Any thoughts on the interview?
I mean, I definitely like the interview. It makes it feel like they're trying to build Steve Cutler, but I'll get into the fact that they struggle to build Steve Cutler when we get to the main event because, like, why? But I mean, I'll we'll wait on that. Like, I have my own like mini rant about this.
uh, so we get Leah Vaughn versus Ember Moon. I didn't hate this match, but I just couldn't get into it with how like Leah was so green in this match. Like it felt like this was her first match ever. Like she didn't. I don't know. It was just, it was weird. Like it really felt like a squash match, which it basically was. But I don't know. I wanted to see more from Leah, and I feel like we didn't. Um, I don't know. I feel like they could have booked this match better with somebody else. Um, but any thoughts on this match?
Um, this was a jobber match, typical of NXT this year. Um, I don't know. I thought it was okay. Good to get I guess a newer talent out there. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, 'cause
Um,
why would you use the one that you already had and
that's
started
what I'm,
building up? You know?
that's what I'm saying. Like I don't understand that. They like like tonight it is just like drop the ball multiple times. Like with this is the same way. You can use like females like Billy Kay and like the people you've already freaking built up to make well, she already faced Billy Kay, so Peyton Royce, wherever she went, because I can't find her. You can use her, but I just feel like it would be better, more beneficial to give them a little bit more to do. Like it can be a jobber match, but give me something to be like, okay, I see that they can do a little bit. Um, Jobber matches to a certain degree are like it's like a jobber match is not even supposed to be a jobber match. It's just weird to me.
Yeah. So we get a No Way Jose interview. I'm sorry, No Way Josie interview. They were saying that Rude dissed him, and Rude didn't diss him. He complimented the man's head. It's getting to the point where you can't even compliment the man's head anymore. 2016. This is just what kind of world are we coming to where you can't even compliment a man's head? Any thoughts on this interview?
I like it. It continues to build. This. This. I guess this feud that they're going with now. I don't know. I wish they should have switched this. They should have had Cien and Noe Jose in a feud. And I apologize to any huge fans of Cien, but I didn't know him before then, and like I just feel like it would be more a better matchup because Cien could still win, but then like it could help Noe Jose as well because like I feel like people might get offended because I said that if you're a big Cien Andrade, Cien Almas fan or whatever, but like I just feel like I mean they're not booking him in any way to make me think he's a legitimate star, so why am I supposed to believe that he's a legitimate star? I feel like he's more on the level of like above Noe Jose, but like they could still feed off each other, and I think they should have did like Rude and Aries, even though I guess WWE is trying their best to stay away from anything that happened in TNA before them or something because like they just won't let it happen.
What's TNA? I don't.
Oh yeah, I forgot. What is that? I think they call it like Impact Wrestling or something now, or something like that.
Yeah,
Sometimes, I don't know what. I never heard of it actually. I was like,
yeah,
I said it, and I was like, I was like, and I thought I was talking about that team with Test and Albert, Tristratus. I was like, okay.
I don't know. I think I think it's some like indie fed in like from like Nashville or something. So some small little indie fed, but we get Ciampa backstage with the trainer checking out his ribs. We find out that if Ciampa is cleared, they get a match next week at the CWC special. I felt like they should have dragged this out a little bit because he's like, Gargano comes up and he's like, I found out from Regal that if you're cleared, we get a match next week. They should have like waited till another segment to say that he was cleared, but automatically right away they're like, so is he cleared? Yeah. Okay. Like there was no build up, there was no suspense. It was like, oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah. I don't know. But apparently they get a match next week at the Cruiserweight Classic Special, and then they get a NXT Tag Team title match.
Wait, what? I thought this was gonna be. I'm so confused. I thought it was a title match. It's not.
No, this is just a match to prove that they are worthy of a match.
So, care about this? Like I mean, I get it. Like I can understand if they were like tonight you get this match, and then if you win, you get a chance to go to the Cruiserweight Classic special. Because like I feel like the Cruiserweight Classic like finale is like being booked as like a pay per view. So I'm like, why aren't they defending the titles on it then? Like you might as well if that's like you're just gonna throw random matches on there, you know.
No, they're not gonna do that. Why would they do something that makes sense? This is WWE. But yeah, did you any other thoughts on that or
not really.
right.
Now I'm kind of upset.
Yeah, we all are. So we get Andrade Cien Almas versus Austin Aries. I'm giving DJ this match because, let's be honest, I was completely let down when Andrade did not come out in his Godfather entrance gear. Just completely ruined any gimmick that he had.
I think that was kind of an issue because we want Andrade to feel like special, but then they take away everything that made him special. Like I like that. Like it was like a style. It was like something that was kind of unique to him. I liked it, and I'm like you want me to care about these NXT shows, but then you don't even give them like their full fledged entrance attires or anything, and I'm like. I don't understand, but I thought this was a pretty good match. I enjoyed it. I was excited going in because I know Cien's got wrestling background, and obviously Aries is one of the best. So I was definitely excited going in. I thought it was a great way for both guys to kind of feed off of each other. Um, so I was excited about that. But I mean, Aries won obviously. like like Aries won. I like the way he won though with the last chancery. I can't remember what move he used to get into it, but it was really freaking cool. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good match though. Any thoughts on Austin Aries versus Andrade Cien Almas?
Well, Austin Aries won, and there was a last chancery, and yeah, and then we got another Sanity vignette. So like, is this coming soon? I mean, I know we got the. I guess it's coming. Whatever Sanity is coming at the next takeover or whatever. But
I
like,
swear, if they bring somebody out and have them named as Sanity, I'm done. like I'm done. Like
it's gonna be somebody that we've already seen before, but it's gonna be different. Like,
it's
they're
gonna
just
be
gonna
Sin
rehab
Cara.
it.
Sin Cara as Sanity. Unmasked Sin Cara as Sanity.
It's gonna be Sammy Callahan. All right, but anyway, now on to the. I mean, I guess you could call this the main event. It was the last match of the night. We're not even gonna call this the main event. Let's be honest. This is not. This does not deserve to be called the main event. Steve Cutler versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Just think about that. Steve Cutler versus
Was this a
Shinsuke.
jobber match? Because I remember when Steve Cutler was jobbing out to like everybody for a while there.
Like, I like Steve. I do, and I like that they seemed to be giving him a push. But why this match? Who thought this was a good idea? Like who was like, you know what? Let's put Steve Cutler in a match with Shinsuke Nakamura. That the fans will love it. Samoa Joe was at commentary. I mean, I almost didn't even care about this match. I just wanted to see if anything happened with Joe at commentary, like, to be honest. And then nothing did, and I was like, what was the point of that? Like, why? Why? Like, what? I Shinsuke won, obviously. DJ, thoughts on this match?
Um, and this is where I get frustrated, guys, because they've been building Steve Cutler over the past like what was it, 2 weeks or something. Um, and I'm fine with him having a match against Shinsuke Nakamura. I was not happy about it because I was like, I knew what they did last time they was trying to build someone up and they put him in a match with Shinsuke Nakamura. So I was not happy about it, but I was like, it makes sense if you're trying to build, you're trying to build this guy up. You say, okay, the guy, yeah, but there was no explanation behind it, anything. I don't know if he said anything about it during his promo or not, but still, I mean, they could have even mentioned it. He could have been like, I want to challenge Shinsuke Nakamura because I want to be NXT champion one day or something. And then on top of that, you must follow that up with him actually doing something in the match. Like, for me to not think he's just a bona fide jobber, like, how am I? explain to me like why I'm not supposed to think this. He's been a jobber for months and months and months. And he gets like a little small bit of a push. He gets his own entrance and he wins a couple matches. But at least I get it. He's gonna lose to the NXT champion. Like, duh, right? But at least give him a chance. Like, at least like let him show his fighting spirit. Let him show that he can be tough. Let him show he can strike with Nakamura or something to at least, give the fans something to gravitate towards when you try to push him again next week. I don't understand. I don't like that's where the continuity lacks for me in NXT this entire freaking year. They've done this multiple times where they're like, you know what, let's build somebody. You know what, let's throw him in there with the NXT champion. It's a good idea. And I'm like, yeah, that's a good idea. Like, duh, that's what he wants to go after. And then they kill him. Like, why? Why? Like, tell me why. I don't understand. Like you wouldn't try to push someone, and then like I just don't understand. Like why? Like let him get some moves in. Let him even have like a really close near fall to give you that like inkling of okay, he could win this match, and then let him lose. Like, what is the use of throwing him in there, letting him get killed, and then the fans being like, well, number one, why do we have that match? Number two, weren't they pushing Steve Cutler? Like, I'm just trying to figure out, weren't they, like, now the fans are just confused. And then nothing with Joe.
Yeah.
Third point. That was the other thing I was thinking about. Like, why have him on commentary if nothing's gonna happen? Nothing. Like not even a point at the title. That's mine. Like WWE 2K16 universe mode or something. Anything. Something. Like come on. Joe's supposed to be mad, but he just walks away. Like I mean, I get that. That's Joe's thing. But like Nakamura should have did something. Like played mind games with him. So anything.
Yeah. So last week's NXT was pretty good though. Yeah, last week was real good. This week next week will be real good. I'm pretty sure that next week will be real good. Probably not. But I don't know.
Like you can't right? And I wish Justin was on this show because Justin has been telling me all freaking year, NXT has been great the whole year. And I'm like, please tell me how. And he can't. He can't tell me how. Justin can't tell me why NXT has been great this year. He can't. Like the takeovers, great. But I don't know what they did for this year. I don't even think it's I don't even know how to explain it. Like I don't even think it's like the star power, anything like that. Like because NXT started to get big when there wasn't a lot of star power there. NXT started to get big when there were guys they were making their own guys instead of poaching off of the independent scene, which is fine. I am completely fine with that. But like I just shows like this, like it just feels so main roster-esque to me. There's something about it that just reeks the main roster to me. Besides the pay-per-views, and still, even like I said before, like the main roster pay-per-views have been solid to me. So I feel like even like NXT has just looked like a smaller version of the main roster for the most part this year.
I think part of the sort of downfall of NXT, and I hate saying that because I still love NXT, is that first of all they brought way too many people up to the main roster too quick, and then they stopped building up their own people. Like when DJ started watching and when it first came on the network, it was for the majority all guys that NXT had built up. There was a couple, like Sami Zayn was there from the indies. There was a couple other guys from the indies, and obviously Adrian Neville had worked in the indies before he came to WWE. A lot of these guys had worked in the indies but weren't as big as like a Kevin Owens or a Sami Zayn or a Finn Balor. But they they built up their own guys, and it really felt like they were building up people. And now it's just, I feel like they're getting lazy. They're not building up their own guys. They're just taking people from the indies, having them for like a month or two, and then putting them up to the main roster. And it's like,
It just feels like for some reason like the champions are stars. Asuka to me feels like a star. Nakamura feels like a star. Even Samoa Joe feels like a star. And there's a couple guys here and there that feels like stars, but like guys like, and it's just the way that they've been booked since they came in. To me, I don't feel like Ember Moon's ready to challenge for the title yet. I don't think they built her up enough. That's kind of that was my issue, like you said, like before, the NXT of old, I guess. Like everybody felt like a star. It might have been like they were big fish in small ponds or whatever, like in a small pond or whatever, that little cliche type thing. But still, like it felt like everybody was a star to me. Like it felt like it felt like they had people that could compete for the NXT title, and like practically anybody could compete for the NXT title. It felt like, and like now it's just there's just this disconnect where like Ty Dillinger's the same way. They built Ty Dillinger up, and then like we didn't see him this week. They built him up, then they put him against Blake and Murphy, and then that was it. It was they were done with like the build up of Ty Dillinger. So like I don't know. I don't like I'm not I still love NXT. I still think it's great. I think it's a good show. I just feel like it just hasn't. It's taken a step back for me.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that was your NXT review for 9/7/16. Hopefully TNA starts to, get back to its roots, what it used to be. I don't know. But we will see you guys back tomorrow for our TNA review. I'm excited for that one. TNA has been getting really good the past couple weeks, so we're definitely, if nothing else, we're excited for that, and we're excited for the CWC finale next week. But until then, subscribe, like the video, share the video, follow us on Twitter, and we will see you on the flippity dippity. Oh yeah.